All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Chakadash, the one of the apostles of great millstone, and salutations to the elect, which we ought to be. Now, it's your brother Hawaii from GMS Chicago. Got a quick little lesson for you Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and confusion of faces who bloodline go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are Israelites, whose spirit bear witness that they are child of the Heavenly Father. And the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, who the world inly calls Jehovah God. And the name of the Heavenly Son is Yahweh Shai, who the world inly calls Jesus Christ, or Jesus Christos, or Yeshua, Yeshaya, Yahweh. And pretty much this lesson is going to Jacob's trouble. Actually, I should start off with that. This is Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." What's that time of Jacob's trouble? Starvation. You know what I'm saying? Everybody acting a fool, everybody shooting each other. You know what I'm saying? Like chaos mode on San Andreas, you know, killing one another, stealing from one another and stuff, even though they do it, but it's gonna be on a massive scale because people gonna be doing it to survive. You know what I'm saying? People ain't finna have enough. You know what I'm saying? People gonna have barely little, you know. And what's part of that? What's part of Jacob's trouble? Getting hit with an EMP. And lately, the scripture says that a spiritual man judges for all things, but is judged of no man. And what you see is that you see a lot of these 18-wheeler trucks, and what it has is EMP on the end, which they will smack this place with. They will smack America with an EMP. And what's going to happen in that EMP? A lot of things is a lot of in order for people to really survive and stuff, they lean on the power grid. And the power grid is linked to your water. It's linked to your refrigerator and deep freezer. So guess what? If food goes bad for whatever you have and stuff, then guess what? You're going to perish. All that food is going to perish. If you got an electric stove and stuff, guess what? It's not going to work, And you had, I think it was DCFS or DHS, and they said they didn't put it on regular TV. You know what I'm saying? They didn't put it in the regular news, WGN, Fox 32, ABC, NBC. It was more likely on RT News, BBC News, and pretty much they said, and they also did in certain articles and stuff that wasn't just given straight off flat to the public, that the people need to save for that the people need to save for a 6-month period without no electricity. People go crazy without their phones. People go crazy if they don't have their entertainment and stuff, man. So guess what's gonna happen? People are gonna go nuts out here. This is Daniel's chapter 12, verse 1. It says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time." So when you even think about King David, when he was running from Saul, Saul was sending men looking for King David just to kill him. Why? Because Saul, the Holy Spirit was taken away, and he had that evil spirit of envy as well against King David, man. Hey, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have 2/3 of Israel and stuff. They're going to help out the heathens. They're going to help out the police. You know what I'm saying? The scripture says in Isaiah 30:1 that it shall be your shame. Why is that? Because Esau never plays fair. He going to turn his back on you and stuff, and you're going to feel betrayed. It's going to be heavy betrayal that's going to come out between the families and between people's families and stuff. Why is that? Because it's going to be a bounty. If anybody ain't trying to be down for the New World Order and stuff, they're going to deem as a terrorist. You know what I'm saying? And guess what's going to happen? Your own family members going to be the ones to get you to get locked up in these detention centers, knowing that they will on their way to get down there as well. Because Esau, the scripture says, never trust thy enemy, man. And it says, "And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book." So If you ain't part of the elect, the 144,000, which consists of 12,000 men of each of the 12 tribes of Israel, the governing body, or the 1/3, which consists of, and the 1/3, which consists of men, women, children who are Israelites who believe no matter how they look. Hey, guess what? If you're not a part of that number, you're not written in the book of life. You're gonna get destroyed. If you want to follow the ways of this heathen, you don't want to come back to your heritage. You don't want to come back to the law, statutes, commandments. Guess what? The Lord's gonna make sure that He puts you to death. You know what I'm saying? Whether sooner or later. You know, this is another one. This is Luke chapter 21, starting at verse 20. Oh, Salakia. This is um, this is Revelations chapter. This Revelations chapter 12, verse 12. And Revelations 12 and 12, it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So this devil knows that he's going to only have a short period of time to rule this land. He see the prophecies coming out. You see the prophets standing in great boldness telling his downfall. And he's seeing the downfall that we speak of. You know what I'm saying? So guess what he's going to do? He's going to be carnal. If he can't oppress you no more and stuff, he's still seeing you happy and smiling and stuff, guess what's going to happen? He's going to be the one to come down with great wrath. That's why you got Project Megiddo. That's why you got the King Arthur plan, Rex 84. You know what I'm saying? You got all these different plans where they want to destroy pretty much all civilians that's not written on that Georgia Guidestone. You know what I'm saying? And as far as great wrath, developing all these different military weaponry. You know what I'm saying? He got a gun. He got a gun. He got a gun that's used like a microwave and stuff that can give you a heart attack from a distance. You don't have to have no guns, but Esau want bloodshed. You know what I'm saying? The scripture says, woe to the bloody city. So he's going to be looking for blood anyways. Why? Because he got a perpetual hatred against you Negroes, Latinos, and natives. You know what I'm saying? He's going to come with martial law. You know what I'm saying? Whether you believe it or not, that's why a majority of these movies and stuff is based off martial law scenarios. You know what I'm saying? Or the theme is based off martial law, or I don't know, run, or you know what I'm saying? Because it's actually gonna happen. For everybody who don't believe in this stuff, it's gonna take you like fifth wave. It's gonna take you by surprise, but it ain't gonna take the men of the Lord by surprise. Because we see the signs coming. We see our eyes are open, you know what I'm saying, while you all are still asleep. And more than likely what's going to happen is that a lot of you all are going to get destroyed out in these streets. You're going to buck up against the military and stuff. They're going to try to take you in. You're going to fight back. And then next thing you know, you're going to get destroyed. You ain't finna have the hedge of you. How about you, shot? Because the scripture says that you should find the Lord while he may be found early. Seek the Lord while he may be found early, and that's at this time right now, while the prophets are able to still teach on the highways and byways, in season and out of season, and also on the internet, sending up videos. Because guess what? It's finna be a famine of word, and the scripture says that the prudent man see forth the evil and stuff. See the evil afar off and hide himself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we ain't gonna say jack in that day. You should have get it while it's hot. And we don't care if you come to us like the Israelites did when it came down to Aaron, when they was waiting when Moses was taking too long for them and stuff, and they needed God to praise, and they was threatening to kill Aaron and stuff, or put hands on Aaron and stuff if he didn't make them a God to worship. Hey, we ain't gonna care if you come to us with violence and stuff. talking about how you want this truth. We ain't gonna give it to you, man. You know, this is because you jacked. You know, you didn't believe it then. Shit, it's gonna be over with. You know, this is Luke. You don't believe it now, then you gonna see it for yourself, and that's when you're gonna believe. Cause like it says, Psalms 110:3, it says, "My people shall be willing in the day of thy power." So hey, when all these different signs come past, and and some of the and all the other prophecies that come to pass that seems unnatural and stuff, I guess that's supernatural. That is supernatural. You know what I'm saying? That's when you people gonna be ready to listen. You know. This is Luke 21:20. It says, "And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh." You know, and this goes back to the 70 A.D. when you had Vespasian. He became emperor, and then his son Titus has became governor. You know, and pretty much the Israelites kept revolting against him and stuff, and Titus was pretty much in the mind frame, like, let's just kill these Israelites and stuff, because they keep coming up against us. He was getting tired of the constant, repeated rebellions. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same way for today. Jake, they actually the scripture's gonna get into it. Verse 21, it says, "Then, so pretty much in the time of 70 A.D., in the time of Jerusalem, you know what I'm saying, because he was underneath the control of the Romans. Uh, the Israelites back then was going through, they was going through revelation. I mean, not revelations. They was going through martial law. You know what I'm saying? It says. It says, verse 21, it says, "Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains." You know what I'm saying? And that's what people are going to be trying to do, but they're going to be cutting off these streets where you can't go nowhere. It says, "And let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto." You know what I'm saying? So if you already out and stuff, and you can see it far off that there's a bunch of activity going on and stuff, you're more than likely not going to want to come in because you ain't going to be able to come back out. You know what I'm saying? And look at that wall. That wall, when it comes down to Donald Trump that he's making and stuff. Donald Trump, all he's doing is more than likely all of it. I mean, what it is that he's keeping people in and rather than just keeping people out. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? It's gonna be like if you ever seen the movie The Maze Runner, how they was within this gigantic facility and stuff, but it seemed like they had their own sky. They had the rain came, everything seemed natural. This whole all of America is going to be like one big test. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the scripture says in Isaiah 33:6, it says that that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and strength for salvation. He that fear the Lord is his treasure. You know what I'm saying? We're only the elect are going to get through it. You know what I'm saying? Some of us going to be locked up in concentration camps and stuff, but guess what? The wisdom's going to meet us in every thought and be our comfort and stuff to go through all that. You know what I'm saying? It says, verse 22, it says, "For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled." It says, "But woe unto them that are with child." You know what I'm saying? You people with children, you seeing a lot of these Edomites getting pregnant by Jake, you know what I'm saying? Or dealing with guys with melanin or dark skin and stuff, these East Indians, these Elamites and whatnot, you know, or these other heathens and stuff. And the thing is that, hey, in that day, it's like, woe unto you, because if you got to run and stuff and you got a little kid and stuff complaining and crying about this, that, and the third, and y'all in a time where y'all need to hide and stuff, but the baby or the child or the little kid won't, or your children won't be quiet and stuff, then guess what? You're going to get caught up out there. It says, and to them that give suck, and that's talking about babies that still drinking breast milk, you know what I'm saying? But nowadays, y'all give y'all babies formula, you know what I'm saying? Because your diet is so bogus and stuff that milk is just as poisonous as the formula, you know? right? And to them that gift suck, you know, because it baby you know, because if you on a run and stuff, then guess what? You don't really got that many supplies and stuff, you know. You're not all that comfortable. And when I say on the run, I'm not talking about being in no RV, you know what I'm saying, or those portable homes. I'm talking about to the point where you just walking, you know what I'm saying, or getting so far if you do got one of those old cars that just still run off gas and have no, uh, uh, you know, that can get stopped by any EMPs. Uh, uh, you know, uh, like in that movie, Maze Runner, Scorched Trails. You know what I'm saying? They was tracking them and chasing them down. You know what I'm saying? You know. So guess what? Dogs and bloodhounds got 500 billion sensors within their nose and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They could all they need is one thing and stuff, and they could follow you. Let it be a dirty diaper and stuff. They'll be able to follow you and track you down. It says, "For there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people," and these also come with great wrath. You know, you had the down in Venezuela, which is the Zebuonites, and who are Israelites. They had a rally and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, I forget what the rally was for, but they had a rally, and it's not recent, but probably like maybe 1 or 2 years back. And you had the UN, you know, because you got a lot of people that's showing on World Star Hip Hop and stuff. How you got these different abandoned warehouses and stuff that get nothing but souped up, militarized UN troop vehicles and stuff. UN meaning United Nations and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Which they will be using in martial law. You know. Uh, um, Pretty much you had those big armored vehicles and stuff, and it was just plummeting into the in the rally barriers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not caring about who was there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the scripture says, they shall be like madmen. You know, I'm a grab that too. This is Second Esdras, Second Esdras chapter 16, I think it's 70. I read verse 70. It says, Second Ezra 16 and 70. It says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord." So when it come down to Project Megiddo, you know what I'm saying, when you read about it and stuff, anybody that's into Christianity, you know, even if you was a Buddhist or a Muslim or KKK and whatnot, because recently what they've been doing is that they call us they don't call us black extremists no more. You know what I'm saying? They call instead of just calling us Hebrew Israelites, because all we doing is out there reading the book. You know what I'm saying? Reading the scriptures and stuff, and they don't like it. They don't like what's being heard, that they're gonna go into captivity and they're gonna lose their kingdom. You know, they try to label us as black extremists, but now they they call us by another name, or they labeling us by another name. Let me correct my words. They labeling us um, by another name so they could put us on the same level as the KKK. You know what I'm saying? You know, put us all together in one group. You know, and they're gonna be coming after us. It says verse 71. It says, "They shall be like madmen, spared none, but stealing and spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord." And if you ever, it's a movie. I gotta ask the brother Koal, but it's a movie where uh, it shows you know, it was like a father and a mother. Uh, uh, um, yeah, father and a mother. You had like a older daughter and a younger daughter. Now the younger daughter was just outside playing around, this, that, and the third and stuff. And then next thing you know, some Black Hawks just came out of nowhere and stuff. And you had militants storming out of the helicopters and stuff, and they ran up into the house. And what they did, uh, they they uh, they grabbed the father and stuff, you know what I'm saying, shooting him, beating him, whatnot. It don't really seem like any words was actually being exchanged and stuff. You know, they took the oldest daughter and stuff, put her on the counter, tore her panties off, put powder on her face and stuff, and they was just taking turns running up in her, and and then when they brought the father and stuff out into the field and stuff, and carried the mother by her head and by her hair, shot the father up, you know, shot him in his rod and whatnot and stuff, and then forced the mother to give head to a dead husband's rod, and the only one that got away was that little girl, man. And that's representation of the elect being saved from trouble. Because she was the only one who didn't get hurt for the small clip that the brother had showed. And this is what's gonna come down. You know, you know, even if you call yourself a Christian or you're a believer in any type things and stuff, guess what? Those the Rex 48, the Project Megiddo, and the King Alpha plan and stuff is going for those who's not finna follow their new world order. And they're gonna come looking for blood. And guess what? Some of our own people gonna help them. But it's gonna be on a matter of time before they feel real stupid that they helped out their enemy. You know. It says, verse 72, it says, "For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses." And when it come down to the military, they have some sort of thing where they have the right to, like, within the time of homeland security or whatnot and stuff, they have the right to come in your houses, take your food. And anybody that fight against and stuff, they will shoot you on sight. Because look at these punk ass police officers and stuff. What's going on? The camera be on, somebody run away that's unarmed, and they shoot them down anyway. So guess what? If you do actually give a correct reason to retaliate against them and stuff, they will have no problem shooting you down. It says, "In casting them out of their house," it says, "Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire." Because when they cast us out, more than likely we going to a FEMA camp. You going to a concentration camp. And part of that of happening stuff is going to be by your own family members or close friends and stuff. Because if you ever seen the movie X-Men, the second one, when they had to flee from clean example, a pure example of how those, because you had Stryker looking for little Wolverine and trying to gather up all the mutants for experiments and stuff, right, to create his ultimate weapon and stuff, military experiments and stuff. Super soldier experiments. They stormed the school. They stormed the school, and they was taking mutants left and right, and what ended up happening is that Wolverine, the metal dude, I forgot his name, Pyro, what's the man's name? Iceman, I think Rogue was with them. Because Kitty got away. Kitty was sliding through the walls and stuff. They wasn't catching her. But Bobby, it was like, which is Iceman, he was like, "Let's go to my house and stuff." So they had them all over the news, like, warning for this person, warning for that person and stuff. They're I don't think they called them terrorists and stuff, but they labeled them something that was bad enough to cause their own family members, to betray them, and that's what's gonna happen for real. That's gonna happen for real. Going back to this is Luke chapter 21 verse 23. It says, "But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon his people." It says, "And they shall fall by the edge of the sword." What's the modern day sword? The gun. It says, "And shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled." You know what I'm saying? Now that part was going back into the 70 AD and stuff because we did flee into different lands, man. You know, we was led into into captivity, man. You know, I keep reading verse 25. It says, "And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves warring." It says, "Men's hearts failing them from fear, and for looking at those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken." You know what I'm saying? So hey, it's gonna be people that's gonna catch heart attacks and stuff. Like when somebody walk up behind you and you ain't notice they was there or something, or you turn the corner and you see something and stuff, and it's real scary. And your heart get to jumping and stuff. Hey, your heart gonna jump so hard that it's gonna put you to death. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna be scared. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you never know, somebody heart, they go into a stroke and stuff because they see one of their family members dressed in all military weapon, all military and stuff, and telling them, not trying to warn them to get away and stuff, but trying to bring them in so they can be locked up for however long. And they show you that in the movie The Rock with Nicolas Cage. Well, those people was on a tourist to Alcatraz, and they put them in them jail cells, and you pretty much had military that wanted to go against the government. You know what I'm saying? And house divided against itself pretty much, and uh, um, they had locked those people up and stuff, and those people weren't getting out until the end of the movie, man. You know, and what you got is something called a boards, where they got prisons on boats. So like they just swim out in the middle of nowhere, and they know Jake. Majority of Jake don't know how to swim. You know what I'm saying? Even if you did get free and stuff, what's gonna happen? They're gonna shoot you down, so you can't escape. You know, they showing you these things in this movie. You know what I'm saying? They showing you how hard it's gonna be out here, like the Book of Eli, like I Am Legend. You know what I'm saying? And one of the other military weaponry that they have, because you can see it up on YouTube, they got robots that walk like humans, and you would not know. You know what I'm saying? They able to find. They got things with the skin and stuff, materials with the skin. It feels real and all that and stuff. The little dolls, with the little dolls where guys don't even want to deal with women no more and stuff. The skin feel real, the hair feel weird. You know what I'm saying? When it come down to the actual advance in the robotry and stuff, they can walk and talk and sound like a motherfucking human, man. You know what I'm saying? They gonna send them amongst the people and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And be taking them. And they show you that in if you ever seen the movie Street Fighter 2, the cartoon. You know what I'm saying? You had Bison had his little robots all over the place and stuff, looking like regular humans and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And just recording. And that's more likely what they're gonna be trying to do, trying to look for the exiles. Just to say, I'm not sure. But they be putting these things in these videos. This is First Maccabees chapter 1, starting at verse 40. And this is just going into like the new world order. You know what I'm saying? Esau want to make it where it's cashless society. You know what I'm saying? No money, no cash, no debit or credit card and stuff. But want to use the RFID chip, which is radio frequency identification microchip, and also underneath the name of NFC, which is near field communications. Verichip, which uses RFID technology, which is the mark of the beast. That's about about the size of a grain of rice. You know what I'm saying? And anybody, he's gonna provoke people to try to take this, because it's gonna be the new currency. Like the scripture says in the book of Revelations 13 and 16, it says, "He causes vulnerable, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their forehead or in their right hand." And the thing is that you got to make an incision. That's what that word mark means. It goes back to Greek word karagma, you know what I'm saying, which means incision, to pierce, to make a cave. And it's the same way when it comes down into the Hebrew in Leviticus 19 and 28. That word cutting in the flesh is the word kwai, the kwa and the eye, which means incision as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's already within our laws not to pierce the flesh. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that he's gonna try to provoke people. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you need food, you gotta take this chip. If you need water, you need to take this chip. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the thing is that what's gonna happen is that anybody that makes the decision to take that chip, you're doomed. You know what I'm saying? You know, it says verse First Maccabees 1:41. It says, uh, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's what that new world order is. Come underneath this one rule. You know what I'm saying? You know, and this is Esau's restart. Verse 42, it says, and everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it's gonna be like. Push off your religion, push off beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Come worship me. That's pretty much what he on. You know what I'm saying? It says, yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion. You know what I'm saying? To have you bound. It says, and sacrifice unto idols and profane the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want you to be in your power. They don't want the Lord to be with you. You know what I'm saying? Right? And then you got 2/3 Jakes who don't want the Lord to be with you either. You know what I'm saying? Because they love the wickedness of this place. Verse 44, it says, for the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land. It says, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days. It says, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. To pretty much go off, you know. It says that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, pretty much saying that have the foreskin, which was a covenant that the Lord had made between Abraham, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, to cut off the foreskin at 8 years old, you know what I'm saying, and that's how you know that Ishmael wasn't underneath the law, even though he was Abraham's son, you know what I'm saying, because Ishmael ain't get circumcised until he was 13. You know what I'm saying? But according to the covenant that the Lord had made with Abraham for Isaac, you know what I'm saying, he did it at the right age, which was 8 months. It says, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. It says to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances, you know, and that's what majority of our people are going through. The law's been changed and stuff, you know what I'm saying, but they not being brought back in remembrance, you know what I'm saying, you know, like they got the flesh, you know what I'm saying, the bones came together and stuff, but they don't got the breath in them, you know, they just know that they Israel, but still fall in the ways of heathens, you know, and choose to do so. Verse 50, it says, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he shall die. It says, and that's what they got. They got something called a blue, red, and yellow list. Pretty much the blue, I sometimes get the blue and the red list mixed up, but the blue list is pretty much those who's going to be considered a straight up threat, who need to get killed on sight, you know what I'm saying, or they're going to be upper-handed and stuff and sent to those special jails and stuff where you can't, you know, this ain't the county, you know what I'm saying, this ain't no high level prison and stuff. Well, it is a high level prison, but it's a prison that you can't look up, it ain't finna be no visitors or nothing, they just gonna be straight torturing you in there, you know. It says and then you have the red list, you know what I'm saying, when it come down to they're gonna try to put that MK Ultra and stuff on you and stuff to re-educate you and stuff to be part of the new world order, and pretty much anybody who resists and stuff will be put to death. You know what I'm saying? Then the yellow list would be pretty much the ones who's just gonna freely go with it. You know what I'm saying? You know that they gonna provide. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna put it in your face and stuff, and it's gonna be like, hey, you know, it's gonna be like if you don't take this chip and stuff, take this chip, You know what I'm saying? Then they gonna start supplying you with how how they gonna start supplying you with it's like in order for you to protect your family or have this and have that or be able to have the comfortability of life, to have the benefits and stuff to continue to destroy your heart, you got to take this chip, and that's what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna be faced to take it and stuff because, like the brother Kapazasaka said, and not to quote it, you know what I'm saying, but pretty much it makes sense. The reason why the ones on the Georgia Guidestones is what 500 million people and stuff, you know what I'm saying, are the ones that they're going to be able to control with that RFID chip, you know, and it does make sense. Well, I'm not saying that it's fact. Going to First Maccabees 1 and 51, it says, in the self same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. It says that many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit every one that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for secure. Talking about hiding places. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you ever seen a movie, I mean, it's not a movie, but I know they came out with a movie, but it's Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. You know what I'm saying? You know, they had certain ones and stuff, you know what I'm saying, that was considered special and stuff. They had to go into hiding, you know what I'm saying? You know, because you're going to have Jakes, regular Jakes that's down for this kingdom, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to also have military looking for you. If you ever seen the movie Transformers Extinction, you know, here it is, you had Autobots helping, saving lives, doing all that and stuff. Guess what? They still got traded on their own people. You know what I'm saying? The own ones that they was helping with. You know what I'm saying? You know, the military was on really the president and the higher ups in the government and stuff. All they did was get sent off by the Decepticons. Decepticons knew that the only problem that was standing in between them to ruling over the humans was the Autobots, because the Autobots was actually trying to save their lives. It's just like the men of the Lord. We on the highways and byways, in season and out of season, telling you it's like you better get right with the Lord before he jack you up, before he put you to death out here and stuff. You know what I'm saying? In whatever manner that he sees fit. You know what I'm saying? We you know, and guess what? Our own people are going to come against us. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they're going to be easily persuaded, just like the Decepticons. Decepticons, you know what I'm saying? Like the base word Decepticons is deceit. You know what I'm saying? You know, to be deceptive, you know, to be deceitful. You know what I'm saying? They're going to persuade you all to come against the ones, you know what I'm saying, that was providing the correct way to worship the Lord in truth and sincerity, in truth and spirit and truth, you know. They gonna deceive you all, you know what I'm saying, you know, and I think I might grab that as well. But to continue on in this, it says, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for secure, you know. And like the brother Demashpot said in one of his videos, he said, hey, don't be surprised if one day you're just, you know, you're in you in your crib, you know what I'm saying, you're drinking, partying with the brothers and stuff, and then the next day you hiding in the bushes running away from animals and shit, man. You know, because that's what's finna happen. You know, about verse 54. It says, now the 15th day of the month, Kesliel, it says, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side, and burn incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And these are pretty much the jakes that consented to it. It says to consent to go off, you know. You know, for all you people who want to live the way of this world, who still want to smoke weed, smoke squares, smoke Black and Milds, you know what I'm saying, commit adultery and stuff willingly, knowing that the woman has a man already and stuff, you know what I'm saying, you know, committing homosexual acts, that's committing bestiality acts, that's committing necrophilia, having sex with dead people, for people who work in the forest and they getting down like that. Hey, guess what? You can still catch diseases. You know what I'm saying? You know, Even an animal wouldn't even mess with a old carcass that's deceased, because it can sense that something is wrong. Um, and then ecosexuality. What I'm saying? The cucumber challenge. People using the vegetation for their sexual pleasures. What I'm saying? If you want to be down for that, or just be down for the society and stuff, hey, guess what? The Lord is seeking to destroy you. It says, uh, right, verse 56, it says, and when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire. And I think it was down there, either it was in the United States. It's either had to be California or LA and stuff, that pretty much one of the United States, the governments was trying to say that that a Bible will be listed as an assault rifle. Literally. What I'm saying? And oh my God, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is that they're gonna do this again. You know, like how it was like when in the book of Eli, you had like he was the only one that had that book and stuff, and it was very valuable and stuff. And what the dude said that controlled that little town, he said it's not just a book, it's a weapon. You know what I'm saying? We can control the masses of the people. You know what I'm saying, with it and stuff. And the thing is that it's going to be so dangerous that anybody who has knowledge of this and stuff, you know what I'm saying, they gonna consider this person of a problematic they gonna consider them as being a terrorist, man, when it's not true. Verse 57, it says, and whosoever was found with any of the book of the testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. Why? Because you could free the minds of the people. You could put fear in the minds of the people. You know what I'm saying? Who this book is actually for, the Israelites and stuff, for them to consent and convert, come back to their actual power. So the Lord won't be the one putting them to death. You know what I'm saying? It says, verse 58, it says, thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month. It says, to as many as were found in the cities. Now the 25th day of the month, they did sacrifice unto the idol altar, which was upon the altar of the Most High. It says, at which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. So guess what? For women that do fear the Lord and stuff, and it's going to keep the law, statutes, commandments to the best of their ability, and stay in their womanly place, you know what I'm saying, and stuff, and not trying to usurp authority over the man, guess what's going to happen? For the fact that you all are still trying to keep the law and stuff, guess what's going to happen? They're going to come after you all as well and put you to death as well. You know what I'm saying? Verse 61, it says, and they hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. You know what I'm saying? So don't be surprised if you hear aim. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, come out with your hands up, held high. You know what I'm saying? And we won't shoot, knowing that they ain't finna give you that much time. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna rifle the house down and stuff. And wherever them bullets go, that's where they gonna go. That's why we need a hedge of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, because going back to the Jeremiah 37, it says, for alas, that day is great, and it's nothing like it. It's even a time of Jacob trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. You really want to do all this work that you can right now to be part of the elect, to make your call and election sure. You know what I'm saying? Because only the Lord is going to be the one who's going to show you if you're going to be the elect or not. You know what I'm saying? And the ones who don't want to listen and stuff, Esau still coming at you, because guess what? He got a perpetual hatred. He don't care if you help him or not. And there's plenty of movies out there where you help the enemy and stuff, and they come into your face, like Scripture says in Psalms 55 and 21. That is that his words were smooth and butter, but war was in his heart. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he gonna come with you with some good shit. He gonna say some good things that sound good and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And really, all it is that he looking at you with a double eye, because when you fulfill his task, he gonna take you out. You know. It says, verse 61 again. It says, and they hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. It says, howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. So you have, like the scripture says in the book of Second Kings, you had Elijah, who thought that he was the only prophet and stuff, and the Lord told him that he got 7,000 men that did not bow the knee. Hey, some of us are going to be put to death. Some of us are just going to be out in the field, man. You know. It says, verse 63, it says, wherefore the rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died, and there was a great wrath upon Israel. And this great wrath is coming again, but it's gonna be the end all be all, man. Jacob's trouble can be a stretch of a couple of years, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord said, will he find faith on the earth? You know, it also says in Matthew 24 that the love of many shall wax cold. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's finna be very, very bokish out here and stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is Second Esdras, chapter 15, starting in verse 14. God, this is Second Esdras chapter 15, verse 11. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm. It says, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and would destroy all the land thereof. And America is spiritual Sodom and Egypt, like it says in Revelations 11 and 8. It says, verse 12, it says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. It says, they that till the ground shall mourn, because nothing's growing. You know what I'm saying? You know, these farmers don't know how they're going to provide for themselves, make the productions for the food, and make it on time with the right amount of stuff to come in to come in and in the grocery stores and stuff, you know what I'm saying, to make their revenue, you know what I'm saying, and also to provide for themselves. Because what's going to happen is that whatever little that they can grow and stuff, if they see they can't make their revenue, they will feed themselves and say and have two fucks about the rest of the people. It said, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. You know what I'm saying? You know, because what did the Lord say? This is First John chapter 2, verse 15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. You know what I'm saying? So woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So if you fall in the ways of this world and stuff, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get destroyed right along with it. I got the door, Mom, because I heard the bells. Bavard VBS. Okay. I heard Bavard VBS. SVU KTF SS. All right. You got everything?
Yeah.
Phone,
Yeah.
ID.
You say
You too. All right, this is back in Second Esdras, chapter 15, verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. It says, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. And that's exactly what's gonna happen. Everybody got guns. Where you think them guns came from? You had an old Crip putting on World Star hip hop, where he was giving his story about how he had found some guns in the alley. Him and his boys found some guns in the alley. You know what I'm saying? Just a box of guns in the alley, just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Which was a clean setup, anyways, and stuff. You know, and and just a clean setup and stuff. And he said that it was a bunch of guns. Now, when he got older, and he wasn't trying to be about the gang life no more and stuff. He'll go to the gun store and stuff, and he would describe the guns that he had seen from his childhood when he was a teenager and stuff. And all they could say, all the gunmen or the people that know the guns in the gun store, all they could say was that those it sounds like guns that was like customized, and the only ones to actually customize guns like that, and for them to find a box of guns in the middle of the hood, you know what I'm saying, would be the military. You know what I'm saying? So hey, everybody got these different guns where you could shoot one time and you got like 3-4 bullets coming out, you know what I'm saying, without it being no burst fire, without it being automatic, you know what I'm saying, or a single shot, you know what I'm saying. The single shot sprays out 3 bullets, man. That's a customized weapon, you know what I'm saying. And everybody got these guns, whether it's from a deuce to AR-15s, you know what I'm saying, It says and swords in their hand, and it also means just regular knives and baseball bats. People are going to be creating weapons, you know what I'm saying, like in the video game The Last of Us, you know what I'm saying. When you had like some scissors or some nails and stuff, you know what I'm saying, you were literally like, you'll build it up, you know what I'm saying, you'll build it up so it could be more deadly than in its natural state, like putting barbed wire around a bat. You know what I'm saying? Putting extra on a crowbar. You know what I'm saying? Even though those edges is enough to split somebody's head open. You know. Verse 16, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men." It says, "In invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor their princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power." You know what I'm saying? So hey, you're gonna be going against the police. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be people that's gonna actually have the balls and will prevail over certain military men as well, or military women, because you got women in the army too. You know what I'm saying? And just to put that out there, women shouldn't be in the army, because you had several cases of women that was in the army that got raped and had acid poured upon their genitals and stuff, so they wouldn't find the person that raped them. You know what I'm saying? And what do women usually do? You know what I'm saying? One man do something to them and stuff, they want to punish all men that did not have anything to do what they went through, or wasn't even in the same incident of what they had went through and stuff. So these women got massive anger. They got mass anger for these men and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Even though they ain't the man that actually did it to them, you know. And those are going to be spirits of vengeance, man. But a lot of women going to get put to death. A lot of men going to be put to death. A lot of children's going to get put to death, you know. You know, people are going to rise up against the police. You're going to be a lot of police officers and stuff that's pretty much going to be on some like, you know what, I'm throwing in the badge because I got to protect my family. Where they're not going to sit up here and be like, serve and protect. They're not going to be on that. The only serve and protecting they're going to be on is protecting their own families, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they can find themselves getting messed up if they trying to help every goddamn body, man. And you got a lot of grimy people out here and stuff where you do help them and stuff, and guess what? All they ready to do is wait until they have no need of you no more and stuff, and turn their back on you. Verse 17, it says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." They're going to cut off these trains, you know what I'm saying, these freight trains, these metro trains, these, once they smack this place with an EMP and stuff, none of CTA is working, because most of the buses and most of the buses and most of the CTA vehicles, the trains and stuff is ran by electricity. You know what I'm saying? And since it's being used so often and stuff, they can't change it. You know, it ain't really that many. And for the trains that still run off um, for the trains that still run off like steam engine trains and stuff, you know what I'm saying? All they're gonna do is just cut it off. You're gonna have military checkpoints and stuff, where they're gonna be checking for stragglers and stuff. Like when it come down to certain uh, uh, toll posts or booths or whatnot and stuff. They're like usually when it come down to crossing the border, especially when it was at Mexico, when they before they had it cut off, what they do is that they'll take that mirror and stuff and look to see if you're trying to smuggle any drugs or any weapons or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like that. And they're gonna be telling you to step out of the car so they can search your car. And guess what? A lot of these police officers and stuff, a lot of these state troops and stuff, they carry drugs on them just so they can set somebody else up. And majority of the time, they be the ones that be smoking that weed and stuff. They'll go around prowling looking for people who got like a couple of bags and stuff so they could roll up because you got a lot of gangs that's in this police, uh, uh, um, uh, uh, that's in the police system, you know what I'm saying, that's in the military and stuff and still rep that thing hard, you know. Just a bunch of bogus ass niggas, you know. Um, Verse 18 it says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled." You know what I'm saying? Because people are prideful right now. Oh, they ain't gonna happen. They ain't gonna happen until I'm about 30. Or they ain't gonna happen until I'm long gone. My grandchildren gonna be going through it. It's gonna happen in your time, in your lifetime. You could be 60 years old, 50 years old, 70 years old. It's gonna happen in this lifetime. We see it happening and coming closer and closer. You got all these different false flags that they putting out there. You know what I'm saying? Organized crimes that's being established by the government and the higher ups and stuff just so they can have a reason to bring in martial law. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to happen naturally. You know, it's going to happen naturally because of prophecy and stuff. But you got a lot of false flags and stuff that's being done just so, just so, just so, uh, uh, just so the so they could just so they can feel, just so they can say that they did it, you know what I'm saying, because it was the importance of the people or the safety of the people when they're the cause. Like you got this thing called order out of chaos where they present they're the reason why the problems happen and stuff, but they want to shine as if they're being a hero. Like old boy off The Incredibles, the first one. He wanted to be Mr. Incredible's sidekick. Mr. Incredible was telling us like, no, this ain't no fame thing. You really get hurt. You really got to think about. He was trying to tell him that he needed to count the cost, but he thought everything. He just wanted the fame and the glory. You know what I'm saying? And when Mr. Incredible dissed him and stuff, what did he do? He just so he could get the shine of being a hero. He came out with that robot to destroy the city, just putting people to death and whatnot. More than likely, that's what they didn't show, but people was being put to death. You know what I'm saying? You let you be at work and a gigantic arm just come sweep your whole floor and the building's falling over. A lot of people ain't running away from that, especially people within the building. On a real serious point, people was being put to death. And what did he do? He tried to come out and be the hero and stuff, and then it was found out he was the one controlling the robot in the first place. That's what's gonna happen when it comes down to these Edomites, man. And everybody that's down with them and stuff, they're gonna be the ones that's gonna cause the problem to come, and then next thing you know, they're gonna be ones that cause the problem, and then try to be like, we're gonna be the ones to bring you to safety. You know, uh, yeah. Second Esdras 15 and 18, it says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." And it also says that the mighty men shall be as women in that day. A lot of you guys that's out there, strong, buff, and stuff, whatnot, you're gonna be squealing. Like I think his name was Tank, off I Love New York. You know what I'm saying? He got a splinter. Here it is. This man swole and bald head. You know what I'm saying? He got a splinter And he was like literally crying over that and stuff, and just using that over an example, saying that it don't matter how mighty you are, saying, the Lord can still put that fear for you, saying, you know. It says, verse 19, it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. All these people that be shorting you down with the cigarettes, they've been in rotation with you and stuff. You babysit at their kids, they babysit at yours. Saying, you could come over their crib whenever you want to and stuff. It was almost like it was your own house. You just walk in, they won't be alarmed. They know who's coming down the stairs by how you come down the stairs. Hey, these gonna be the same people that's not gonna have no pity upon you. You know what I'm saying? It says, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. It says, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be horrible out here, man. A lot of people don't know how to fix up a wound. You know what I'm saying? All these first aid kits and stuff. A lot of people don't know how to fix a sprained ankle or know how to clear up an infection so it can stop spreading throughout the body. People don't know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? And you sitting up here in your crib and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's cold because this place got smacked with an EMP, and you can't ain't no way for the heat to come on. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to the gas station and get no gasoline and stuff, so you can't put no gas in your car, so you over there at the hose, you know what I'm saying? You at the hose and stuff trying to see if you could suck up whatever oil and stuff just so you could use whatever gas appliances just to heat up your place. People don't know how to build fires. People don't know that that's going to be part of the tribulation. You know what I'm saying? When you starving and stuff and you see a pigeon and stuff, but its feathers all messed up, so you know that the pigeon is going through malnutrition. Pigeon probably sick and stuff, but that's the only thing out here to eat. That's tribulation. That's the lack of bread. Because once a lot of these truck companies and stuff, what are they doing? They're cutting off. They shutting off. They going out of business. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't got nobody to transfer the goods to your grocery stores, then guess what? It ain't finna be no food. And it's only 3 days worth of food within the grocery stores. But guess what's gonna happen? People ain't finna be going for 3 days worth of food. People are gonna be going to clear out the entire grocery store, man. Food for Less gonna get raided. Aldi's gonna get raided. Whole Foods gonna get raided. And guess what? Them people that's supposed to be security, they not gonna stand by them doors. You know what I'm saying? They gonna understand what time it is, knowing they ain't finna get paid. It's gonna be a lot of strikes out here. You know what I'm saying? Because people's jobs are gonna be taken away by robots. You know what I'm saying? You see it in McDonald's. They got those where you can sit up here and pay for your food without pay for your food electronically. So guess what that means? That means that a lot of you cashiers are finna go out of business. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you security guards and stuff, because if they got cameras and they can just call the police and the police can come like that, there's no reason for no security guard. All that's gonna be gone. You know what I'm saying? Your Grubhub, your Uber Eats, your Postmates, your DoorDashes and stuff. They got vehicles and stuff where they don't need no driver. You know what I'm saying? That could deliver your food. They got robots that could just come out and handle the food, or the car could just open the door. You know what I'm saying? And the person just come out and get their food. You know what I'm saying? Don't have to worry about getting robbed. Don't have to worry about this, that, and the third and stuff. Don't have to worry about nobody playing this Uber Eats, and then next you know it's a kidnap. You know what I'm saying? Don't have to worry about their food being eaten. Because they said it was an article on how there was a study how people from Uber Eats and stuff would eat some of the customers' food. You know what I'm saying? And then when it come down to jobs like that, self-sufficient jobs and stuff, what's going to happen? It's going to be overpopulated. So when people start losing these regular jobs and stuff, there ain't really no other jobs for them to get to, or they'll be able to get into one of the other jobs and stuff that's self-sufficient. But the thing is they really wouldn't be able to make that much money and stuff because everybody trying to do it. The food industry, they got robots They got robots where they got robots that print. They got this new system when it come down to the food where they can print the food. You know what I'm saying? You know, where you cooking and whatnot and stuff, and it tastes like a regular burger. So guess what? They don't need anybody to cook anymore. So a lot of you cooks are gonna be out of business. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of you and then uh, um, you got hyperinflation and stuff that's finna come where the foods are gonna cost more, where if the foods cost more, if the electricity costs more, if the gas costs more and stuff for all you businesses that's run by your families and stuff, you won't be able to build up enough revenue because your bills will outweigh the revenue that you make to even pay your employers. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're gonna be short of staff, you know, and then eventually down the line you're gonna see yourself closing down your family business. While it's been up for 30, 40, 70 years and stuff, you're gonna see it being closed down because you can't provide for it. You know what I'm saying? This is part of this great tribulation that's gonna be here, you know. And if food costs too much and stuff, then guess what? You're gonna jack up the prices on the meals and stuff, but guess what? There's other people that's going through financial problems who ain't gonna be able to do that either. So what's gonna happen? People are gonna be robbing, they're gonna be killing, they're gonna be stealing. You women gonna be used as bargaining chips. You know what I'm saying? Prostitution finna come in a big way. You know what I'm saying? You know, you already got certain uh, um, in certain other countries how you have guys or certain homeowners or apartment owners, apartment complex owners and stuff, where it's like they tell the females and stuff, it's like, hey, you don't have to worry about paying rent. All you gotta do is slide that pussy on me whenever I call you. You know what I'm saying? You know, just so you can keep your house. You know, whatever job that you're working at and stuff, just provide yourself for food and whatever else. I got everything. I got the house gonna be the rent gonna be paid, the electricity gonna be paid, the gas bill gonna be paid, the water bill's gonna be paid. All you gotta do is slide that pussy. You know what I'm saying? That's finna happen on a grand scale. And all you women out there is talking about not me and stuff. Oh, just wait and see when just wait and see, man. Like we letting look. The men of the Lord are giving you warning. We prophesy. We meaning to say before. We giving you warning about what's going to actually happen out here and stuff. Whether you believe it or not, you're gonna see it for yourself, and that's when you're gonna actually believe it. It says, verse 20. Oh, construction workers. Just to put this out here, since they know how to print the food, they also do the same thing when it come down to building. So it ain't gonna be no reason for nobody to bring a crane, you know, or your crane operators and stuff, your bulldozers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, it wouldn't be no reason. Hey, even construction workers' jobs are finna be taken out when it come down to the robotic system, man. You know, everything's finna be taken out. You know, and people are gonna be mad. You know, verse 20 it says, "Behold, saith the Most High, I will call together all the Salaki." That was it. You know. Yeah, verse 19. It says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy the houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." So, hey, people that's saying that they friends right now, they ain't gonna be friends back then. Hey, the scripture says that not every brother is a brother, for every brother will utterly supplant. And this is what these people gonna be on. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're not gonna be caring for your lives. They're gonna be caring for themselves. Let it be one loaf of bread and stuff, and it's two families, but it's two husbands right there. What you think is finna happen? They not finna split that shit in the middle. They gonna fight to the death for it. Whoever win, whoever tap out and stuff, it's gonna be the one who loses to getting the food. You know what I'm saying, for their family. And you know, and what's the other thing part of that tribulation? This is Deuteronomy, because it's gonna come a time when all food gonna be gone. Right? You know, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 53. This Deuteronomy chapter 28 of verse 52. I'm going to read verse 52. It says, "And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which Yahweh thy power had given thee." You know what I'm saying? So during this time, in 70 AD, the one thing that they had did and stuff was starve people. You know what I'm saying? You know, cut off their waterways and stuff, because we live in ancient times. You know what I'm saying? You know, we provided for ourselves and stuff. You know, we was able to get water from the streams and stuff without being sick. You know, without it being parasitic. You know what I'm saying? You know, we was able to do those things and stuff. You know, have a farm and the land and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, to provide for our food and stuff, and then be able to provide for our animals so they can continue to work for us and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But what he do, he cut that off. You know what I'm saying? So all you was doing, whatever you had within your storehouses, you was just dwindling down. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that you had to go back out to the market, all that got cut off. You know what I'm saying? Your Macy's and all that stuff is going to get cut off. Your Targets, your Walmarts are going to be cut off and used as concentration camps to detain you people. You know what I'm saying? Verse 54, it says, "So that the man that is tender among," no, verse 53, it says, "And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body." And what is the fruit of thy own body? Your children. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they're going to bring up a less of a fight, you know what I'm saying, just to eat them. You know, like they show in the cartoons and stuff, how you have you'll have like, they always do it with, it's like some tribal people and stuff on some deserted island. They don't know what you is, they don't know who you is and stuff, but all they do is capture you, put you in a boiling pot and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And the next you know, you like, what smell good? But they cooking you, you know what I'm saying? You know, it says, "The flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters," it says, "which the Lord thy power have given thee in the siege and the straightness wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee." You know what I'm saying? And part of that distress, when you go to it, is the Hebrew word tazawach. It's the taza, the wa, and the kwa, tazawach. It says to constrain, press, bring it to straighten, oppress. You know what I'm saying? And what is that oppression? That straits that he's going to bring, that distress he's going to bring. You know what I'm saying? Cutting your food supply off, your water supply off. You know what I'm saying? You know, how people that's able to live a little comfortably and stuff more than others and stuff. You see these homeless guys and homeless women out there, and they stinking, they smell worse than they pets and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? They can't really get a shower like that. Hey, pretty soon that's gonna happen to this place as well, because when they hit that EMP on this place with the water systems that goes to anybody else's houses and any of these little buildings and whatnot and stuff, since the water system is connected to since the dams are connected to the water system that's connected to the power grid and stuff. Once this place get hit with an EMP, you ain't getting no running water. You ain't getting no water for no shower. You ain't getting no water for no tub. You ain't getting no water for no sink. You know what I'm saying? You know, only time you're gonna have water is in the like the water storage container and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna have to be decisive on what you you know, you're gonna have to make decisions like, okay, you're gonna have to try to conserve water and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you're trying to drink water, and you're drinking water from bath water. You know what I'm saying? You know, and this is going to be very, very stressful, man. This is 2 Kings chapter 6, verse God. This is 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 24. And it says, "And it came to pass after this that Benadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria." It says, "And there was a great famine in Samaria." It says, just like that famine of 70 years in Egypt. You know, one of the things that's horrible is famine. You know what I'm saying? To pine away. You know, to be like those kids on those pay-per-view commercials. It's swords in their hand, man. That's the spirit. It says, behold, they besieged it until, it says, and there was a great famine in Samaria. It says, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for fourscore pieces of silver. You know what I'm saying? It says, in the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. You know what I'm saying? So people are going to come to the point where they're going to start considering to eat other things. You know what I'm saying? You know, ain't nothing because your sanity is going to slowly dwindle. You know what I'm saying? Some faster than others. You know what I'm saying? You know, and people going to be looking at their dogs and their cats, ready to skin the line. You're gonna be Moabites temporarily. You know what I'm saying? You know, eating anything. You know, anything you can catch. You know, like how in the movie Demolition Man, where you had Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes, pretty much everybody who had the chip and stuff was living deliciously, but the ones who didn't take the chip, you know what I'm saying? You know, they was forced to go into the alleys and what they was making rat burgers. And look at downtown now. Downtown is infested with rats. You know what I'm saying? Like how it used to be in the hoods. Now they still in the hoods, but you see, you see, you seeing that pestilence take over downtown and stuff. So guess what? People gonna be trying to eat in that time. When them pigeons don't got nothing to eat and stuff, they gonna die off. They gonna decompose. People are gonna be considered roadkill, rotten meat, because that's what you have down there in Venezuela. Down in Venezuela, it got so bad that they got markets. Where the markets, they sell rotten meat. You know what I'm saying? Whole slabs of meat that should have been thrown away. You know what I'm saying? You know, but that's because there ain't nothing else to eat. You know, they have videos of how they go to the dumpsters, the trash sites and stuff, looking for old meat just to sell or even just to make some sort of soup. You know what I'm saying? Just consume, man. You know, just consume, put something in their bellies, man. You know, and it's the same it's the same way when it comes down to selling an ass's head. You know what I'm saying? Because you selling a donkey's head and stuff just to eat it. You eating certain things that you would not necessarily eat. You know. You know. It says doves none talking about bird shit, man. You know. They selling it so they can eat it. You know. Because at this time, people ain't gonna have time enough for a couple of months or 1 or 2 years and stuff to use dove's dung to fertilize whatever seeds that they have in the ground just so they can eat. You know, you ain't gonna have the time for that. So what they gonna do? They gonna eat this. It says, verse 26. It says, and as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help my lord, O king. And verse 27. It says, and he said, if the Lord do not help thee, when shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the wine press? You know, but the elect are gonna eat, man. You know, yeah, it gonna be something for the ones that's gonna be on the move. It's gonna be like the movie The Road. You know, you might go 2 or 3 days without eating and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, but hey, the Lord might have it where you run across somebody that got food, or you run across somebody, or you run across a old shelter and stuff where it was nothing but food all over, and then you get to chow down to your fulfill, man. You know what I'm saying? As if it was like how it is today, where you could just go ahead and grab you some groceries and just chow down or make you something. You know what I'm saying? You know, freshen up, clean up, because they probably got water. Because a lot of these doomsday preppers and stuff are going to be used just to serve and protect the elect. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's going to be the Lord's hedge. You know, part of the Lord's hedge, or what's within the Lord's power to protect you. It says, verse 28. It says, and the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So guess what? They was bargaining to eat their own children. You know. In verse 29, it says, "So we boiled my son and did eat him, and it says, and I said unto her on the next day, give thy son that we may eat him, and she have hid her son." You know what I'm saying? So hey, guess it's finna be very, very bad out here, man. Like what else? You got the TV show called Black Summer. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody that's considered a zombie is gonna be a cannibal out here. You know. This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 20. It says, verse 19. Verse 19, it says, "Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother." You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it don't matter if you family or stranger. People are going to be out here for themselves. The only time that you're going to see that people going to still be clinging together and stuff is if the Lord put that spirit upon them, or if you got the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, because every like-minded man and stuff is going to, because like brothers say, it's going to be a blessing to be with a brother in that time, because when you low in spirits and stuff, you got another brother that can help you out, you know what I'm saying? And then when it's vice versa, you always got to help, you know. Verse 20, it says, "And he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm." So people are going to get so hungry that they're going to start eating themselves, you know. It even happened down there in Venezuela, where you had a video where you had this man raping another dude and stuff, you know what I'm saying, while he chewing on his ear. Now, he literally like trying to rip it off. Like when you see hyenas try to like eat tough hide on a certain animal and stuff, and you see that it takes them a while for them to really like rip the meat off and stuff just so they can eat it. This is what this man was doing to this man's ear while he was butt naked running up in him from the back, man. You know what I'm saying? Took his fingers off and started chewing on it and stuff, man. That's what's finna come to this place, man. In the first main course, they show you that in that movie Snowpiercer as well, where you had one of the dudes said that was like one of the worst memories that he had was that the babies tasted better than the rest of the other people that they was eating. They was more tender, you know what I'm saying, more succulent and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why the babies was easy to get to and stuff because they put less up of a fight, and we ain't talking about just regular strangers looking at your children and stuff ready to eat them. We also talking about people of your own household ready to eat you. You know what I'm saying? Or you just eating yourself. This Leviticus, no, this is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 9. It says, "They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger." It says, "For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field." And that's another thing, because look, what Esau does is that he cares about decoration and stuff, for how scenery is made and stuff. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to his business, it's like how it looks on the outward appearance and whatnot. What he'll do is that if there's like, cause there's this place called St. Albee Church and stuff. You know what I'm saying? On near Stony Island and stuff, and it's this tree and it always makes fruits. Later down the line, we found out that it got cut down for no reason. They ain't putting no new trees up there, they just cut it down. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of trees and stuff that bear fruits, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. And what does Esau do? Cut it down. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because while he's sitting from watching with these different little cameras and stuff, he gonna be sitting back and watching people lose their minds out here. It's gonna be it's gonna be like a bunch of mice running through a maze, seeing that it's one piece of cheese and they not trying to share. They ready to kill, so they could be the only ones fulfilling this big piece of cheese. You know, it says verse 10. It says the hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. And when you go into that word sodden, it's the word bashal, and it means to boil, cook, bake, roast, ripen, grow ripe. You know what I'm saying? Cooking their own children. It says they were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. You know what I'm saying? You know, so hey, guess what? People gonna be eating their own kids, eating themselves. You know what I'm saying? You know, like your sanity is gonna dwindle. You know, because they showed you that in the movie The Road, you had that group of Edomites and stuff that was roaming looking for supplies and stuff. But when you went to that house, when a dude and his child stumbled across that house, went to it to happen, they heard people crying and screaming and stuff, looking for help. And you saw people down there, they were sick, not being tended to. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have no medicine, and their limbs was getting chopped piece by piece. Why? Because they was being preserved as meat, man. You know, they was being preserved, man. You know, you know, and it's gonna be my last scripture. This is Leviticus chapter 26. This is Leviticus chapter 26, verse 13. It says, I am Yahweh, your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, that ye should not be their bondmen, and I have broken the bands of your yoke and made you go upright. You know, when he brought us out of Egypt and stuff, and he said that he shall be our God, he shall be our power, and we shall be his people. You know what I'm saying? He was teaching us the law, statutes, commandments, so we can be upright and stuff. You know, cleansing us from the ways of the heathen. Verse 14, it says, but if ye will not hearken unto me and will not do all these commandments, it says, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhorred my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over your terror consumption and burning ague that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart, and ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemy shall eat it. You know, shoot, I wouldn't be surprised you growing something in your backyard and stuff, and that's what you have that's like really sustaining in this tribulation in terrible times and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you preserving and you being able to eat so much and stuff without consuming everything else, and then next you know somebody's just come across and eat all your stuff. You know, it says verse 17, it says, and I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth you. It says, and if ye would not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times 7 more for your sins, and I will break the pride of your power. And that's what's going to happen. The people that stand in great pride and stuff, you're going to be taken, you know what I'm saying, and sudden, man. You know, you're going to be thinking everything's going to be a regular day and stuff, and then next thing you know, it's going to be like the movie Bushwick. You got military storming the areas and stuff. When they be fixing up these streets and stuff and making the streets wider and stuff, they do that just so they can put tanks on these streets, man. You know. And not only that, they building certain wheels for tanks to be able to go over all types of terrain, man. You know, it says I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron and your earth as brass. And another thing is that a lot of you people that do steal money, that crack the cars and do all that and stuff, it's gonna come a point where you're gonna be trying to save up all that money, and then next thing you know, you ain't gonna be able to use it. Cause guess what? You ain't gonna be able to be going to no ATM. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be shut down. You know. And even if you do get into with the money and stuff, it's gonna be just like how it happened with Venezuela. It's gonna be long ass lines where people are gonna be sitting there for 2 or 3 days and stuff, still not getting no food. Have to go back home to the children or to the family where it's like I couldn't get anything today because they closed it down. You know what I'm saying? Uh, 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 you know, uh, you know, bringing money by the wheelbarrow. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they was weighing the money. Because the money, the money had no value. That's what happens when hyperinflation is. You ain't gonna get your 2 for the $5 on the juices. That's why you all think y'all in good case and stuff because the visuals are being sold cheap now. But pretty soon that's gonna be hiked up drastically, Salakia. You know, it says, and then down there in Venezuela, it came to a point where they was just casting money out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And what was that? And nobody was running out to them streets to pick up them dollar bills or them $100 bills. Why? Because they can use it. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got coming to America. Verse 20, it says, "And your strength shall be spent in vain, for your land shall not yield her increase, neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruits." You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to be dying. Everything's going to be dead, you know. Verse 21, it says, "If ye walk contrary unto me, I will not hearken, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins." So all you Israelites out here don't want to get right, that still want to do the things of this world and stuff, that the Lord ordained to be wickedness according to what he has said and stuff. Hey, guess what? You making yourself contrary to the Lord, you gonna get destroyed. It's gonna be your fault why you're not being protected. It's gonna be your fault why you seeing these terrible things happen upon you, man. It's gonna be your fault, nobody else's. And when you read the scriptures is based off what the own individual's decisions it's made based off of what they do. You know what I'm saying? So all the people that betray other people and stuff, and guess what? The Lord looking to get you back, because who's to say that that person you betrayed was not of the elect? You know, because you ain't caused them to make no decision. You made the decision to do something, and you was just in the utmost carnality and stuff. Now the Lord is looking to jack you up, because like the scripture says, you can't say that you love your brother. No, that you love Yahweh Shai, but hate of your brother. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all that don't want to come to this truth and stuff, you hate your brother. So guess what? You hate Yahweh Shai, and you hate the Heavenly Father Yahweh. It says, verse 22, "I will also send wild beasts among you." And it says in 2nd Esdras chapter 5 verse 8, it says there shall be a confusion also in many places. People are going to be wondering like what's going on and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday was all cool and dandy and stuff, but now all this corruption is just happening in one spot. It says, "And the fire shall be often sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places." You know what I'm saying? And how is that happening is because you got Esau destroying all the habitations and stuff of these different animals. So guess what? They food is fleeing into the cities, so they got to chase down their prey. They show you that in I Am Legend when you had all those abundance of deer that was within the city and stuff. And Will Smith and his German Shepherd thought they was gonna have one and stuff, and then the pride of family, the pride of lions and stuff just came out of nowhere and took their scoop, man. You know, you're gonna have bobcats and coyotes, which they already down here, foxes and everything and stuff. And guess what? They mind playing the same way. Like a lion, if a lion's regular food is not around and stuff, it will get desperate and go after the animal that it would not want to touch. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be the same way for these dogs, for these cats. People that got huskies and dogs that really need to be dominated and stuff. Hey, if you don't feed them, they will retaliate against you. You know what I'm saying? And when dogs run wild, they run in pack of wolves. You know what I'm saying? They hunt, It says, in minstrels, women shall bring forth monsters. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of you all that's just straight monsters, man. You know what I'm saying? You can accidentally, you know what I'm saying, no matter how much you say sorry, step on somebody's shoes, they ready to put you to death. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got a dude that so carnal and stuff. What he said that a woman's hat was so big that it got in the way of his blessing. That's how carnal minded these people are. And guess what? That's carnality they gonna be in. They gonna be in that state. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got little kids and stuff rolling around with guns and stuff. You look their way. You could just look in their direction and stuff. They think you looking at them. You could tell them that you're not looking at them. If you come with a stern voice and stuff, their feelings get hurt. Why? Because they was raised by their mothers and stuff to be emotional. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then next you know that's your head blown off. You know, these people are monsters, man. You know what I'm saying? People with no souls and no conscience. They just do it. They just load up and start dumping. That's what these people are. Straight monsters. That's what 2/3 of Israel are. Monsters. You know what I'm saying? You know. Verse 9 it says, and salt water shall be found. It's another one. This is 2nd Ezra 6:24. It says, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. It says the springs of the fountain stand still, and in 3 hours they should not run. That's going into how the water system is going to be shut off because of the EMP. You know, you know. Go back to this. Actually, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 65, and it says, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. You know what I'm saying? So understand, this is still the curses, man. This is it's gonna be your heart gonna be trembling, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not talking about the heart in your chest. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about your mind. You know what I'm saying? Your law. You know what I'm saying? Where your spirit dwells, your soul. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're going to be trembling, wondering what you're going to do, because you're seeing people out on the streets eating people. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be seeing, you're going to be hearing babies and women and men crying at the top of their lungs and stuff, and quickly being silenced. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you ain't shutting up no baby if it's crying like that, man. You know what I'm saying? If that baby is crying out of agony and stuff, and then it quickly got silence, that means that baby got put to death. It says in failing of eyes, man, because for what you see, it's gonna look like there's no hope at all. In the sorrow of mind. Verse 66, it says, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. It says, in the morning thou shalt say, would the Most High it were even, and at even thou shalt say, would the Most High it were morning. For the fear of thine heart whereof thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be so scary out here and stuff, to the point that you gonna think that it's gonna be like, man, Lord, would I be able to see? You're gonna be praying to the Lord, would I be able to see into to night? You know what I'm saying? Would I be able to see through the middle of the day and stuff? You know, look at Will Smith and I Am Legend. You know what I'm saying? Those monsters which are considered cannibals. You know what I'm saying? You know, and who completely lost their sanity. You know what I'm saying? You know, they was eating the deers raw like straight beasts, like they was carnivores and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's what's gonna happen when it come down to these people. You know, you know, the lights not off. They gonna let out these prisoners and stuff. You know what I'm saying? These booty warriors and stuff. You got gangs out there in New York. You got a gang called the Sweet Bloods and stuff, where they go around raping men. You know what I'm saying? If you don't got their heads, they gonna get you, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, like the brother Yawana had made he made a point. You know what I'm saying? But it can actually happen. You know, you walking home at night, you know what I'm saying, and stuff, and then you just got somebody, hey nigga, Hey nigga, now you down the street, now you just see some big swole figure and stuff, and then next thing you know, you get to speeding up because your spirit telling you that something ain't right, or you get that feeling like something ain't right. Let me hurry up and get in the crib. You know what I'm saying? You know, or it could be a group of niggas and stuff. Hey, check it out, and it's dark as hell, and you can't see nothing because the street lights are gone. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you could just see a couple of images and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, you just hear feet rolling through. You know what I'm saying? You know, you see that big, huge, swole image and stuff start speeding down the motherfucking block like it's no problem. Like it's just a couple of squares in the cement, man. You know, you know. If you never been in a situation where you thought that you had to look over your shoulder for every single thing and stuff, you know what I'm saying, or to actually apply circumspection, you know what I'm saying, hey, people are going to have to apply those things, man. And if you don't got this truth, like it says in Romans 15:4, it says things are written aforetime which written for our learning. You know what I'm saying? And then going back to the Isaiah 33:6, it says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who uses, everybody who is giving this word and stuff, that's what's going to be their buckler. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to give them strength. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're going to lean on. They're going to lean upon Yahweh Shem Shai and not lean upon their own understanding. All y'all that don't do it, you in trouble. Like, what's that song? You niggas in trouble. You niggas in trouble. Yeah, you niggas in trouble, man. You know? Why do you believe it or not? Because you will see it. You will see it. You know? Because the men of the Lord, we ain't scared of death, man. We ready to leave this place. Y'all ready to stay. You know? Um, Going back to Leviticus 26 and 22, it says, I will also send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children and destroy your cattle. And when it come down to bald eagles, you see a lot of falcons, you see a lot of hawks. You know what I'm saying? You know, within this area, you know, it's not a seagull, it's not a brown seagull, none. These are stray hawks. And hawks and falcons, they will go after other birds. You know what I'm saying? If they get desperate enough, let a bald eagle get to flying around in Americas and stuff. And for you Jakes that like to just have your babies just falling after you and stuff, or floating in front of you and stuff, and you ain't holding their hand, a bald eagle will snatch your baby away from you. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be food. You know, and ain't finna be one of them fairy tale movies with a bird that's actually bringing food to the nest and stuff, feeding your baby. That's not gonna happen. Your baby gonna be the food for its chicks. And it says, and destroy your cattle and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolate. It says, and if ye will not be reformed by me by these things, but will walk contrary unto me, then will I also walk contrary unto you, and will punish you yet 7 times for your sins. And I will bring a sword upon you that shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant. You know, covenant. It's the Hebrew word bar yath. It's the bar, the ra, the yah, and the tha, bar yath, and it says covenant, alliance, pledge. You know what I'm saying? A treaty. You know what I'm saying? Constitution. And the Lord had done that. You know what I'm saying? That we was gonna be His power. I mean, you know, He was gonna be our power, and we was gonna be His people. You know what I'm saying? You know, and 2/3 of Israel and stuff. We understand that the whole nation Israel had went off and stuff. But the thing is that the elect and stuff, the elect, we're making an effort. You know what I'm saying? Hoping that the Lord's gonna protect us in this time. And you got a guy on the news swinging a sword over a wheelbarrow. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's spiritual because the scripture came out about how that with swords in their hands, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's gonna be. Guns, real swords and whatnot. People gonna be doing that to attack to get what they need, man. You know. And when I said earlier about how the women are going to be used in the movie Book of Eli, you had that woman with the busty chest who was just laying on the ground. She was a trap for anybody that had strong sexual desires and stuff that wanted to deal with her. You know what I'm saying? To get trapped up so they can be robbed and killed by the men that was using her. That's how women are going to be used. You know what I'm saying? You know? It says, and when ye are gathered, back in verse 25, it says, and when ye are gathered together within your cities, I will send the pestilence among you, and ye shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, the Lord ain't playing, man. I mean, when you keep going in this chapter, the Lord just keeps saying how he gonna chastise you 7 times. If you still walk contrary, he's gonna chastise you 7 more times, 7 more times, 7 more times. You know what I'm saying? And 7 means completion, so it could be a numerous of times and stuff that's outside the table of multiplication, man. But even if you did do it like that and stuff, you know, for as many times that he said it already, 7 times and stuff, it's over 49. I believe for what I read already, man. You know, and that chastisement it doesn't explain what level of chastisement is going to be. It just knows that it's going to be 7 times more. You know, verse 26 it says, and when I have broken the staff of your bread, see that's what's going to happen. You know, meaning that you're not getting no money, or your food going rotten and spoiled. You know what I'm saying? Because the refrigerator ain't on, or the deep freezer ain't on. You know what I'm saying? Or the regular freezer ain't on, so you can't store foods that need to be refrigerated. They got a perishable date. These grocery stores being taken out of business. You know what I'm saying? These restaurants taken out of business. It says 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven. It says, and they shall deliver your bread again by weight, and ye shall eat and not be satisfied. And that's pretty much what's going on right now, especially in Whole Foods. What they weigh the food. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you don't get. It's not just a set price that the food is. They weigh the food and then they charge you by that. It says, if ye would not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you, also in fury, and even I, will chastise you 7 times for your sins. And in verse 29 it says, and ye shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat, and I will destroy your high places, and cut down your images, and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you. And that word abhorred is the word gayal. It's the God, the I, and the lie, gayal. It says to abhorred, loathe, be very cast, be vilely cast away, fall, to loathe, to be defiled, to reject as loathsome, show aversion. You know what I'm saying? You know, meaning hate you. You know, it says, and I will make. It says, I will make your cities waste and bring your sanctuaries onto desolation, and I would not smell the savor of your sweet odors. You know what I'm saying? So your scripture says that he that turneth his ear from hearing the law. You know what I'm saying? Even his prayer shall be an abomination. So the Lord is not going to heal you. These are the calamities that the Lord is going to bring upon these people that's not seeking him now. You know what I'm saying? You know, because when the day actually come, for when it come down to the actual help that you're looking for and stuff from the Lord, he's not going to be there for you. Why? Because when places of repentance was open, they despised the law. So now you got to know it out of death by pain, that you came up against the men of the Lord, you did things against the men of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? The Lord allows you to do certain things against the men of the Lord and stuff, or whatever they may be. You know what I'm saying? Showing that if it was Yahweh Shai, you would have done it. If the Heavenly Father came in human form and stuff, guess what? He's not going to let you know that he was the Most High. You all was going to do the same thing if he was saying this was the upright way to live and stuff, and it was against how you people live right now. You would try to kill him. You know what I'm saying? You know, and and that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? You know, just touching over a couple of things that, hey, you know, the sword is gonna be here. People are gonna be. It's gonna be chaos mode, like all San Andreas. Everybody gonna be shooting. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be women with double barrels and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Blowing anybody that comes too close to them. You know what I'm saying? Out of fear. Little kids gonna have these guns and stuff, and they gonna shoot you out of fear. uh, uh, you know, that it's going to be horrible out here. You know what I'm saying? You know, and wisdom is better than the mighty. You know what I'm saying? So you could be swole all you want to and stuff, but that's not going to deliver you. You know, now it's a help to the body and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But might is not going to deliver you. Knowing these scriptures and knowing Yahweh Shem Yahshai and knowing the name, you know what I'm saying, and believing in him and wholeheartedly and offending less is what's going to get you saved, you know, and having faith in him. And I hope this video was edifying. I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakadash, double honors to apostles of great millstone, and salutations to your elect, which we ought to be. Shalom and Abba Babal.